Hello, I'm Julie Winwood, Head Teacher at Aston St Mary's Church of England Primary School. We're a small village school just outside Stevenage in the village of Aston. What a year 2020 has been. Future history lessons in the making. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, we are unable to safely show visitors around Aston St Mary's School. So we created this and a presentation from the early years to give you an insight into how we do things at Aston School. As a small Church of England school, we have a PAN of 18. We have mixed age classes because we have 5 classes for the 7-year groups. Generally, children are with us for 7 years, so they can expect to spend 2 years in 2 of the classes. Children aren't set in these classes. There's a number of factors that decide which group we put them in. But either way, they are challenged at their appropriate level. If they're in year 2, they're challenged for year 2. If they're in year 3, they're challenged for year 3. The senior leadership team monitor every single child very closely, and as a small school, we're able to do so. We make sure that every child from their starting point are making good and accelerated progress. Underachievement, slow moving, or anything that's causing us concerns are immediately identified and actions are put into place. We have pupil progress meetings every half term, where we get together with the teachers, the teaching assistants, the subject leaders, and ensure that the children are all being challenged and that they're moving on from their starter point. Every single child is monitored, with no excuses for any slow-moving or underachieving children. We're proud of our Christian values at Aston St Mary's School. We have a different value each half term, but we're reminded regularly of the previous values. For example, this half term we have thankfulness, for we're thankful for God giving us his only son Jesus. Children look at ways in their life and things they're thankful for, like their families and their friends. Last half term we had courage. It took a lot of courage for some children to return to school, with some off school for up to 6 months, the same as it did for the adults and for parents. We've had to show a lot of courage in this hard time, and the children are encouraged to explain where they've showed courage. We also have other values. We always have forgiveness at Easter, because we forgave the people for putting Jesus on the cross, and we look at things and how we forgive people in our life. We go to church in unusual times every half term at least once. We go for Mother's Day, where we thank God for Mother Mary and for our mothers. We go at Christmas, where we do a nativity play with the younger children and the older children. We go at Easter. There's lots of different opportunities where we go into church and we use the church for our learning. As I say, everything we do in school is underpinned by our Christian values. At the end of Key Stage 2, the SATS results would show us as a high achieving school in English and Maths. However, we offer our children at Aston St Mary's a wide, rich curriculum. The curriculum is not narrow to achieve high standards in English and Maths, but the key skills can be used across the curriculum. For example, in music, from year 2 upwards, all children learn to read music and play the musical instrument. So by the time they leave us at the end of year 6, all of them can play a recorder, at least one instrument, and can read music. We have a tight skills and progression set for skills and knowledge for every single subject, from reception to year 6. For example, in reception, the children learn the fine motor skills by doing sewing and threading a needle. By the time they leave us in year 6, they've used a sewing machine and created their own pencil cases that they take off to secondary school, and a pillow that they've made. To complement the learning in school, the children will go on many trips during their time at Aston St Mary's School. In usual years, they will have 1 trip a term, so 3 a year, even from reception, whereas this term, reception have had an autumn village walk, where they've been round, looked at the different things are changing, picking up resources to bring back and use in school. When children leave the school, if you ask them what they remember for each topics or each year group, it will nearly always involve a trip when they've gone out. It really brings the learning to life for the children and gives them experiences that they remember, opportunities they might not have otherwise, and to share these experiences and learning things with their friends. We're very fortunate at Aston St Mary's School. For a small school, we've got a large outdoor environment. We use this environment ever such a lot to try and take the learning outside. For instance, in the summer, quite often I see children sitting under the tree in their class listening to stories being read to them. We're fortunate to have our own forest school where the children toast marshmallows. They learn how to make fires from flint stones. And we do a risk assessment where we decide what we're going to remove from the forest school and what we're going to leave there, because they need to learn that they can't just touch any berries that are out when they get a little bit older and their parents let them out on their own. So a lot of the learning takes place outside. Reading is one of the most important things we can teach our children. If they can read, they can get themselves lost in a world of magic. They can have dreams, they can investigate, they can find out things. And we take reading very seriously at our school. We've got a lovely library that the children use, and we've just heavily invested in books. So a lot of the books are there that the children wanted to read, with the top authors and the latest books being appropriate for the children, including non-fiction books. Some children won't want to read a storybook, so we still want them reading. Let's give them some non-fiction books in things they're interested in, that they can look at and research and want to take home and share with their families. Reading underpins everything across the whole curriculum. If we're going to equip our children to cope well in secondary school and achieve their full potential, we need to make sure we teach them a love of reading so that they can access the whole curriculum. They can deal with the specialist geography teachers and history and what other subjects they like, because they will enjoy the reading and they will know how to find out where they can find things for their projects and things they're interested in, and get lost in a magical world. As a church school, we have really strong links with our local church and with the local community. Recently it was Remembrance Day. All the children painted a poppy on pebbles and we took them down, class at a time, and put them around the Moore Memorial. They learned about people that were actually from Aston that died in World War I and World War II. And they find out that people gave their lives for the freedom we have today. We have other links with the local community and the local church. We do fundraising and we do a lot, but as I say, everything is underpinned by our Christian values.
Hi. We're Year 6 from Aston School. Whenever you walk into this school, there's 2 teachers standing at the door and they're always welcoming you very nicely.
This school is really nice because when you go on school trips you get to spend loads of time with your friends and have fun about your learning.
I feel that Aston School has really prepared me for secondary school and I'm excited for my journey ahead.
All the teachers and adults here are really lovely and they care for you really well.
Hi, I have a little brother from in Jacadel, but he's so happy every time he comes back home. So this is a great school.
Everyone at Aston School is really nice and no one's ever mean to each other. We recently got a new pet. It was really fun voting for her new name, Miss Millie. It's really enjoyable to go to PGL every 2 years when you're in a new class. Some people go in year 5 and some people go in year 6.
Year 6s enjoy doing buddy reading with the Shacadales and just listening to them read and reading to them.
You get so much support here. This is why I love this school.
It's really nice going to church because it's all set up, and when it's Harvest Festival you all bring in foods.
I feel like Aston is a really important stepping stone in my life. I've made so many friends here.
The clubs here are wonderful. For example, after school club.
I love Aston School, and we hope you do too.
To find out more about Aston St Mary's School and the things the children do, please go onto our website under the newsletters and have a look at them. We produce one every 2 weeks with lots of details of what the children have been learning in school for the last 2 weeks. Thank you for taking time to see our presentations. The strength of our school are the children and the families that are in the school. The reason we get what we get with the children and the success the children have are because we work together. It does not work alone. We have to work together to achieve the best provision and the best outcomes for the children, so they're ready to go off into the world and be citizens of the future, where they can make positive changes and have a life doing things that they like to do, where they're caring and considerate of others. We hope whichever school your child gets, that they're happy in their schooling and that they enjoy their time at school. It's a wonderful time being a child, and it just goes far too quickly. So we wish you every happiness, and we look forward to seeing you maybe in the future. Good luck.